So let's go in the game and I'll show you how to play it. Okay, in your garage, we're basically just going to build a little quick, simple robot here. Only thing we have available to us right in the beginning is these cubes, and so basically what I'm going to do, I think the pre-built bots, I haven't seen them because they added them in. They only had one pre-built bot, and basically it's like Minecraft, and that's why it's Robocraft, because it's just robots with Minecraft blocks. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to build me a little frame. You can build it on the ground. You can use your plus key to lift it, and you can use the comma key to drop it. And I always like to build them in the air. They have a global chat down at the bottom, and when you're in game, there's a team chat to chat with the team, and all chat, there's a leaderboard for people on your friends list, and I don't think there's a tier 1. Let's see, what tier is this? Oh, it's for tier 2, so there is no leaderboard for tier 1, but I think every hour or so they have a ranked match, and in a ranked match the teams I find they're matched a little more evenly. They're matched just a little bit more evenly than just a normal match. And let's see, cruisers. I'm going to go 2 blocks back, and basically how you performed in your ranked match. I think whether you win or lose, you get a certain amount of points, and it shows up as your score, and then it just lets you compare with people's on your friends list, you know, who got the highest score. And I think it has nothing to do with how you perform. It's just basically pure how much you know, you play, because I had a pretty strong bot at tier 7, and I know somebody who's a pretty strong player, and I have a higher ranking than him in tier 7. It's just because when I played a tank, I had a really strong tank, and when I played what did I make? I made another tank. No, I made a cruiser, and it was really strong. Now, since these little cruisers are pretty light and they're tippy, I'm gonna put some heavy blocks at the bottom to help kind of balance it. Hovers, I find you need this too, or to flip upside down. And like I said, this block is just 3 times heavier. It'll kind of keep my bottom glued to the ground a little better. And then basically I'm just going to pad this thing out. And if you notice up here in the top left hand corner, we have a CPU, and it's in P-flops. It's whether that's picoflops, which is very, very small, or pentaflops, which is very, very large. We still don't know. And basically you just pay X will put mirror mode in. If you play like Planet Explorers, you know about like a mirror mode. That way I can build on this side and it'll build on the other side, so I don't have to, do everything double. And let me leave a room right here for my seat. And the way this game works is you have to have a pilot seat for it to work. I gotta buy a new one because I bought more garage. I gotta buy a free new one. That one's weird, but whatever. They make you buy stuff that's free, but I guess it's just because it's in the system. And we go to special. We get our seat, and the seat takes up 2 blocks, and there's a little pilot in it. And basically what happens is you can hit every block on my vehicle and the blocks will fall off. But the robot will not get destroyed until the 2 blocks under the seat are destroyed. So you can destroy the whole front half of my vehicle, and I've used all steering wheels, so even if the front wheels get knocked off, I can still steer it a little bit. You only really run into trouble if you got like basically 3 wheels on the same side, or 2 wheels. You really can't steer, or if the front 2 get knocked off and then the back 2 steer the same direction. You can't really turn around, but you can kind of like crab walk a little bit. So that's basically how it works. You just basically pad it out, and you use up all your P-flops to pad this thing out. I think the game, I haven't played in a long time, but I think you start out with like about 300. It's somewhere around like 365 to 4 something, 415 or something like that. For tier is what you start out with. And also in that corner you see my level. I'm already a max level 100. Just means I played the game long enough to reach level 100. And every level you gain in the game, it gives you a extra 11 P-flops, to where when you get to whatever you start with plus 11 times 100, that gives you it's 11. I think it's 1111. So I think you start out with like 400 P-flops or something like that. And basically you can use as much P-flops as you want, but you got to realize you're gonna overload your robot if you go too heavy. So I'm just gonna go one more layer. This is gonna be I'm gonna pull this layer back. This is just gonna be a tanky little cruiser type bot. It's not gonna be anything special. I just wanted to have some padding, and I don't want to go too high on my P-flops. And you basically, I think you have to go 2 blocks higher than the pilot if you want to cover him. But people shooting at your pilot doesn't really do the damage unless it goes to the blocks underneath. So I'm just going to build like a basic birthday cake, and I'm going to put my SMGs on it. I'm going to put I'm only going to put 6 on this one, because that's what you would start with. Chassis, let me put another row of blocks in the front, in this tier right here, just because. Will that let me put my SMGs? Hardware, yes it will. So I'm going to put my 6 SMGs, and then what I'm going to do, you wouldn't be able to do this originally with, you'd have to go at least through 1 or 2 fights before you'd be able to afford 2 extra SMGs. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 redundant SMGs. Oh, none of these cubes. Let's see. Tab, Cube Depot. Actually, these are free, so let me go ahead and where are the tier 1s? Can you not buy tier 1 SMGs? Maybe you can't. Anyway, these are free, so I'm just gonna buy 2 of these. So I guess you can't have more than 8. I mean, more than 6 in the beginning. So I'm just gonna put 2 of these as redundant SMGs. That's too close. Okay. So basically that's what we would call a gun bed. This is what's available to you at the beginning. If you have a starter bot, which you will, if you just sign up for an account and start playing the game, you will have a starter. You will have a starter bot. You can take the pieces apart. You can take all the pieces apart and I needed those keys. You can take the pieces apart and use those pieces to make a stronger bot. So one bot will have SMGs, one bot will have plasmas. I don't know what the other bot has, but if it has more SMGs on it, you can take those SMGs off and put on this one. So you basically could do this for free, or just use the starter bot. I've played the starter bot, the bot that they gave me, and I played it all the way to, I think, tier 3 before it starts getting weak. So we'll go ahead and jump into a game, and I'll show you what that's like.